Guys, this video I'm gonna go into a little more detail or in depth of the drop shot rig. We're still talking about the drop shot rig and drop shot fishing. Um, Went out today, had another good day today. I'm going to continue to fish the lake that I'm fishing because that lake is totally overpopulated with spotted bass, and the more we catch, the more goes in the freezer. Spot bass, anytime I catch a spot bass when I'm fun fishing, I'm usually keeping those. But with the drop shot rig, basically, which mostly everyone knows what a drop shot rig is. Um, Real simple, main line, a hook that has a swivel on it. Some have a line slide where you don't have to tie two knots. It's just a simple slide in. This one here, you have to tie two knots. And then your leader with a drop shot weight. Real simple, real simple, easy setup. This bait here is one of the baits that I was catching a lot of fish on. It's made by Striper Slayer Lures. It's their drop shot worm, 4-inch worm. This is the sour apple. He has a 6-inch as well, but in the water, and that bait sits basically like it's sitting, like I'm holding it, and that tail gives off a lot of action. Even when that bait is just sitting still, see, I'm not even moving, and that bait is still just, the tail is still moving. And that gives off a lot of action, and those spots love it. Something else I was catching them on was just a regular Zoom trick worm. But what I did was I actually, instead of using the whole worm, because the bait that they're chasing and feeding on is so small, I actually bit it off almost in half. And I also dyed the tail in JJ's Magic. That's the only bait dye or garlic scent, whatever, that I use. I just had a lot of success with it. But that's another one I was using. And also, because like I said, the bait is so small that sometimes you have to use your imagination or just think outside of the box. And I actually whacked a good many today on the Lake Fork crappie lure. It's a baby shad's sickle tail, and man, the bait was about that size that I saw that the fish had regurgitated in the live well or on the deck of my boat, and it keyed me in on something, and I just said, hey, let me try it. And that right there, that little puppy also caught some too. You'll also see in the video a couple times me pick up another rod. And when I was picking up another rod, I was jigging a good old spoon. Caught a lot of fish off of it. Even on the last video, we caught some fish off the spoon. Basically, letting it fall to the bottom, jigging it off the bottom. Still using the graph, still using it just like you would the shaky head. Excuse me, the drop shot. And that's how we were able to catch some fish too as well with the jigging spoon. One other bait that I love to throw this time of the year when the fish are really feeding heavy on the bait, in that winter transition and in that winter pattern, is the, let me get it untangled, the Duo Realis spy bait. This guy will catch some fish. It's a lot of, I'm actually working on another video to upload about spy baiting. It's something that's been out. It's really starting to take over. People are really starting to key in on it. But it's an excellent bait. Uh, and it works year round, but me personally love it this time of the year. Um, as you can see, it has your blades on the front that actually turn when you're bringing it in, or when it's fluttering down towards the bottom. It can be fished at any depth, shallow to deep. You just have to let it sink, let it fall to the bottom, or wherever the fish are at in that water column. But this bait right here is a great bait for this time of the year, and I'm not even sponsored by them or anything like that. But this is a real excellent bait. So just want to kind of give you a little heads up of what I've been using, catching some of the fish that you've seen on the video, the previous video, and on this one as well. As you can see, one of the first things I do when I pull up and get into an area that I think that I would want to fish is use my graph. I talked about it in the previous video on how important using your graphs are. Right here you can see on the graph some submerged standing timber that did have some bait and some fish in it or around it, and so that let me know that that was one area that had exactly what I was looking for in it before I even made a cast. I already knew what was there, so that's why it's important to use what you have, whether it be 2D sonar or your downscan side imager. Typically I use all three when I'm just graphing over an area. Now once I get on the bow of the boat, then I really use my front graph to hone in on exactly what's underneath me. Okay, as you can see here, I'm on the deck of the boat, and it's a fairly clean bottom, but you can see the bait and the fish in this clip on the graph. A lot of people think that you're going to always see arches and big balls of bait. You will see your bait, but you will not always see uh, arches, especially in your 2D sonar, because your arches come from how the fish enters the cone that your transducer signal sends out. So you won't always get that arch. Knowing what's a fish and what's not goes back to just spending time of learning your graph and knowing how to really read your graph. So don't always assume that you're going to always see arches or always see big balls of bait, because a lot of times you won't. Like I said, because it basically depends on how that fish enters the cone that transducer is sending down. So oh, he come off.
Got it going on now. That's a little better one too, ain't it?
Yeah. Step up here and get on camera.
Pretty good one, huh?